Hi, today's cooking tutorial is an ode to spring, or Easter if you will. We're going to make some jam tarts, which are very popular. It's kind of a British or a English thing, but they're very, very easy. And I'm Dorothy, and I usually do cooking tutorials around focused either on low carb or easy, or both. And today we're focused on ultra easy. Not low carb because of the pie crust and the jam. So 2 ingredients makes it really easy. A store-bought pie crust. You can make your own, which is not very hard, but we're gonna go ultra easy. And some jam. And you can buy the jam at the store, you can buy it from us, or you can make your jam, but then it's not easy anymore. The only other thing you need is whatever you're going to make your tart in. So I've got a couple little fancy things that I actually picked up at the thrift store, and we're gonna give them a try. Now the goal is, can I make this in less than 10 minutes? I think so. It's so easy. Follow me and let's see if we can do it in 10 minutes, okay? Okay, first I'm going to flour the countertops so that the dough doesn't stick. I'm using a Pillsbury pastry dough for a pie because it's the closest thing I could find to shortbread dough, which is what the British use for their jam tarts. So flour the rolling pin a little bit and roll out the dough a little thinner than it comes in the package. These are mini tarts, so the dough can be pretty thin. And then whisk an egg, set it aside, and we'll use it as what's called an egg wash a little bit later. Now for the fancy part. I love my thrift store and I get so many cool things there. So I picked up all of these little cookie presses, but you really can use just a glass or you can make your own stencil if you want. Go wild. It can be as fancy as you want. Now, they do stick to the countertops, so it's a good thing to use a pancake turner or a flat spatula to pull it out. And then they come out pretty easily and you can mold them and shape them and do whatever you want with them. You know what? Jam tarts taste great whether they're fancy or not. But as long as I had the tools, I thought, let's get fancy. So this little tray was actually developed for Hot Pockets, but it looked like just the right depth for these jam tarts. You don't want it too deep like in a muffin tin. Otherwise, it's difficult to get that jam to pastry dough ratio just right, and that's very important. Okay, so as you notice, I'm using a little butter to grease the tin. This is not a mandatory, but they do pop out a lot easier if the tins are buttered. Gently press it down inside to the tin and shape it if yours is a shape, and then add at least a teaspoon of jam. Now this is the most difficult part of the jam tarts, figuring out the jam to pastry ratio. So if you have too little, you taste a lot of dough and not a lot of jam. If you have too much, it bubbles over and you've got a mess. If you've got the time, do a couple of them ahead of time just to see what your preferred jam to dough ratio might be. Remember, this is an art and not a science. So think of yourself as an artist. Now, a few things about the jam. This is blueberry jam I'm using now, and then I have some lemon marmalade, raspberry jam, and grapefruit marmalade. You can use any kind of jam you want, your favorite jam, but I would caution you against using jellies. Jellies are a lot sweeter and they do boil over further. So I put the little star on top, and now we'll do the egg wash. For the egg wash, you can use egg whites, you can use egg yolks, you can use the whole egg. They all have slightly different attributes, but all of them, the idea behind all of them is to make the dough that beautiful golden brown color. So put a little bit on your star or whatever you're using in the middle, if anything, and some around the edges, and you're good to go. Here we are. They cooked in the 350 oven for 20 minutes, and they're looking pretty beautiful, I think. So let's take one out and give it a taste. Okay, and there you have it. Easy peasy British jam tarts. Okay, I think I will taste, the orange marmalade is my favorite, so I'm going to taste the orange marmalade one. I think my husband is right. Put a little bit more jam in than a teaspoon so you can get the perfect ratio of jam to tart. Otherwise, it's perfect. Talk to you later.